Morning everyone, take two. We're currently on the Toft to Ulster ferry, heading across to Yell. From Yell we'll then drive through and up to a place that I can't remember the name of, to get another ferry onto Unst, which is the island with the most northerly point of the UK mainland on. Once we get up there at the top end, we've got allegedly a 3-hour, hopefully a 3-hour round trip walk to the lighthouse at the top of the UK, basically. Lighthouse called Muckleflugger. So that's our aim for today. It is a bit grey and dull, but hopefully we'll get some brighter skies as we get up there, although having said that, I don't know whether I'm holding out much hope. But there we go. A little bit wobbly on this one, but as I say, we're on a very small ferry. There's what, 15 vehicles on here maybe. So yeah, let's see how the day goes. And we're underway on the last leg of the trip up to Unst. Now the strange thing is, this is going to be really weird, isn't it?
Very.
We were on first, which means we're at the what would be the back end of the boat, because we went in through the front and the boat's just turned round, so we're now going backwards. That's an incredibly strange experience, isn't it? A strange feeling. But on the flip side, as you can see, the sun's coming out.
It's trying.
It's trying, it's fighting the clouds, and it's winning in parts. I can see blue bits up there. But it is very strange going this way. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I like this.
It's one of them.
It's not as bad as the ferry across from Aberdeen.
Oh god, that was vile.
But
I think for me, going backwards isn't that strange, because I'm used to being on the train.
that's a fair point. Yeah. But yeah, so we're now on the way over to Unst, and then a bit of a drive up to the top end of the island, and then a walk to Muckleflugger. So once we get up to the top end and work out where we're going, there'll be another update then. Okay, here we are. Top end of Unst. We're at the Hermaness Nature Reserve, and then we follow a couple of tracks and we'll be able to see Muckleflugger. The second time we've got up to this car park, because the first time we had to go back down. We were hoping there was a visitor centre as such with some facilities to it, but there weren't. So we headed back down, stopped at a lovely little shop, spoke to a lady in there. Ruby got herself a nice sausage cob, and she's munched that very quickly.
Not very quickly, it wasn't exactly a short drive back up, was it?
But then yeah, we've got to grab some fuel on the way as well, and now we've got to go for a walk. So we shall take you with us. So this is the boardwalk that you follow from the car park up to the cliff top. Little meadow pipit there. Every time you get to a peak on this boardwalk, you think, great, that's going to be the one to the cliff edge or the cliff top. And you go over that peak and see more boardwalk across these lands. This heathland is immense. Over on the hilltop over there, the cliff top, is a space observatory. Down there on the boardwalk is Ruby. The place is packed with meadow pipits, and while we were at the car park, lady came down, said there were hundreds if not thousands of puffins that had just landed on the north end of the walk, and they're just walking around not bothered by people, so we'll be heading there shortly. Here, and anyone who knows needs to find themselves a book of Olsen's standard book of British birds, preferably the expurgated version. The gannet. The gannet. Look at this. Yeah. I just don't know what to say. Puffin! That's what I can say. And another one. Our first puffin of the trip. Rube.
Yeah, here, I saw it.
No. There, on the cliff, like 15 foot in front of me. I should be able to zoom you in, but I'm not quite sure. But that's what we came for, part of it. Puffins, and another one just come into land. Oh, that's it now. I'm happy. This bunny is very happy. Time to pop you down. Stick the tripod out that you're sitting on. Another one landing. Well, how close do you want to come, matey? We're going to go down here. Look at this little fella. You're alright, little fella. Sorry, Steve Irwin. Insane. I've just realised this grass is wet. Also just realised that I'm on single shot still. Do you know what? I'm firing away with all these shots and I haven't even looked at any of my settings. Just totally and utterly drawn in. I got a very wet bum.
So I just put my coat on the floor.
Say again, darling.
I just put my coat on the floor. Felt like common sense.
I'm just going to try something. This is... The GoPro's now on a 2 metre long pole, so I'm well away from where I'm showing you. We saw there, that's where one of the puffins went into, so that's one of their nesting areas. So that's just, I don't know whether there's any sign of anything in there or whether they go into a much deeper tunnel. But just to show you on that there. So puffins are ground nesting birds. They get themselves into those tunnels and they'll nest in there. Once they've got chicks, that's the classic photograph of the puffin with the sand eels in the mouths. We've got another one coming over this way now. There's 3 on the cliff edge there. We've got a lot more to do, but at the moment we're just kind of stuck with these few puffins here, and I mean this is a very small section of the colony. But we need to move on shortly. But yeah, that's a little bit of footage for you down there. Fantastic area, so glad we came. Okay, so we'll try that again. A little bit of context, just now we were at the top of that cliff photographing puffins, and a short time later it's all the way down that path along this cliff edge, and we got to go a bit further. There are puffins literally everywhere just in front of us on this slope. There was about 6 or 8 just now. Sheep moved towards them and they went, nah, we're off. All down where, babe?
Down that.
Okay. There is a massive colony of gannets as well, which we're coming around towards us in a second. And the scenery is just insane.
Raven.
Yeah. Just look at that. How beautiful is this coastline? Now we do need to get a move on because it's just gone 2 o'clock and we need to get back to the car and back to the ferry for 6:30. So once we get round to the other side, I'm just taking off down there. I'm fairly sure we'll spend a lot of time sitting around with puffins and get some more footage. So as we walk along this pathway, we see various holes in the ground to guide you. There's 2 tracks that you can follow around Hermaness. The blue one, which is a shorter one, and the one we're doing, which is the yellow one, full ring around the coastal path. Now as we head down this way, possibly see in front of us, there's a couple of staging areas, I suppose is the way to put it, where there's effectively a bridge across the water. Oh, that looks fun. That doesn't look fun. We'll be back, maybe. So we've just come down from that pole up there, which is super steep and very awkward to come down. But look at that for a little reward. What a gorgeous little stream with a mini waterfall coming down, which actually, as we've seen from further back there, turns into a much larger waterfall at the end, which I'm not going out to. I will, however, have to jump this. This could be fun. God, I'm not designed for doing things like that. Rube likes photographing waterfalls. Come on, rat bag.
Yep.
There's actually another section to it just at the top there. But no, get out, come over.
I'm gonna.
Careful, because that is soggy.
It's not the first time this trip I've had to do this.
Oh, that wasn't as good as I was hoping for. And I had you on camera as well. Damn!
Nice try.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can make it out. I don't think so. The zoom on the GoPro is not great. But just on that rock there, there's loads of little white specks. You'll see a couple of them coming into land. That's a big gannet colony. There's another rock around to the right of that, which is absolutely covered in them as well. My camera, when I put it on, interestingly, put the blinkies on, and it tells me that all of the little white specks down there are overexposed. Gannets being white birds will always show up as overexposed, but that's a massive amount of those, and hopefully as we come around the corner a little bit further we'll see the other rock and get some puffins a bit further along. So whilst Ruby's talking sheep, which unfortunately for you guys, or fortunately, I'm not sure which, I didn't capture. Here we have the big colony of gannets. Be careful please, Rube. Some lovely cliffs down there and nice green grass. All of those little white specks that you can see are gannets. Very large seabird. I think I read that there's something like a 5-foot wingspan. Bright sort of creamy yellow head, black tips to the wings, and then a white body. And this is a massive colony of them. See the rock arch down there as well. Photograph that from the other side. May well get some a little bit further along depending on how the angles look. That's more Rube's thing than mine, but it's just glorious. I'm kind of lost for words. No need.
Every need.
Kids, eh? Who'd have them? Just looking out that way, and all of those gannets seem to have just taken off all at once. And there's absolutely loads of them up in the air. Now, those of you that know me, including this one, I can be rather sarcastic at times.
At times.
And I do find one of the things I can be slightly sarcastic about is when people go on about the emotional nature of an experience. Now, I just walked round that bend, caught a glimpse of the lighthouse, and then saw all those gannets go up all at once. Was it emotional? I don't like to use the term, to be perfectly honest, but equally, knowing that we are currently potentially the most northerly people in the UK, kind of makes us feel a little bit special. I mean, Rube's obviously special all the time. But
well, I get that from you, so not really saying much.
It's soggy as anything through there. Oh. Yes, I sunk. But it is. It's quite a sobering experience, or for want of a better term, yes, an emotional experience, to be thinking that we're literally on top of the UK now. I don't know where the next bit of land is past here. I suppose if you go in due north, you're going to be into the Arctic Circle. So yeah, I'll give you that. It's emotional. And the sniffing isn't because I'm crying, it's because of the wind. Oh, what a wonderful place. That lighthouse you can see on the rock out there is known by the name of Muckleflugger. 2 rocks to the right of it, that large rock just in the ocean there is Outstack, and that is the most northerly point of the UK. As I say, currently with where we're about to stand, you can see the board coming up, and gather that I'm filling to get to that board. I am, because Rube hasn't got here yet. Little Miss Slow Coach is the second most northerly person in the UK. Wonderful. We've made it. From the car it's taken us just over 2 hours to get here. So, and we've got that, oh God, facing us to get back round to the car. I hope that drops off fairly well on the other side as well. Jeez. But there we are, Muckleflugger Lighthouse, the most northern point of the UK. Right, so we've now climbed a wonderful hill that you can't see. Muckleflugger and then Outstack out there again still. So you can see there, that's the information board. A little bit about the area and the walk, and that's where we are in red. We've got to now just follow that yellow path back down to where it joins the blue path and down to the car park. That looks really short. It isn't, trust me. But to make it easier, as we walk round from there, we get back onto a boardwalk, which means no more boggy grass, no more falling into or stepping into soggy mud and water, and that's it. Muckleflugger done. Thoughts?
Would recommend it, definitely worth it. Very long, need good walking boots, but definitely worth it. Preferably waterproof one.
Yeah, there's a few patches. I mean, the boardwalk's brilliant. A couple of areas where you've got that, but you can see all across that coastline there. We've walked all along there. Dread to think how far we've walked.
Find out when we get back.
Let's have a look, see where we're up at the moment. My phone will unlock. Just hold that room.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see the camera skills over from the monster. Just over 3 miles, and we've done a few little bits and pieces than what we've done. But yeah, that's about a 3 mile walk to get round from the car park up to the top of the cliffs there, and then round past Muckleflugger. We'll see what we're at when we get back to the car. I reckon we're probably going to be approaching maybe 5 miles by the time we get down there. We'll see. But yeah, great walk, great weather thankfully. We've got gannets, puffins and the most northern points of the UK. What a day, gotta love it. Head to Shetland, well worth it. Okay, so we've come to the end of a bit of boardwalk that we were on. So now it's back. At least that's got the boardwalk there. Once again, there's some kind of space observatory. What was it called? Spaceport or something?
Yeah,
was it?
something like that.
Ruby got a picture of a cracking sign on the by the turn for that spaceport. I'll try and get it into the video, but basically it says aliens will be extradited to Mars or something along those lines. So yeah, interesting. Didn't even know that sort of thing was here. We did actually end up driving right close to that, up by where those buildings are, because don't trust your sat nav. You need to come to Hermaness, don't plug in muck or flugger, because if you do, you'll end up in completely the wrong place.
On an MOD base.
Near an MOD base, exactly, yeah. Although the road to it was a lovely little switchback and it would be great on a bike. But still, there we go. So I have a confession, misidentification. I've just done a quick ID on the singing bird just now with the Merlin app, and it turns out it's actually a skylark. My mistake, not a birder. So there we go. But yeah, there's loads of those around here anyway. I'll tell you the other thing that seems to be loads of on Shetland. God, get the right island. Oyster catchers. They seem to be the local replacement for pigeons almost. Everywhere you're going along the roads, oyster catchers everywhere. Bird I hadn't seen until we were in Scotland a few years ago. But yeah, lovely things. Get some pictures later. Ruby Alice. And there we have it. Hermaness. Done. What a long walk. So
3.5 hours, the map wasn't wrong.
we did it in about 3.5 hours exactly. And we covered just over 4.5 miles. So there you go. That's the stats for the walk today. And then we'll get back, edit the photos and get those posted on Instagram and wherever. What a day. Wonderful. Love it. Okay, right, so that's Muckle Flugger and Hermaness done. We both hopefully got some cracking photos of puffins and landscape while we were up there. So now we're going to head back towards the town of Belmont for the ferry. On the way there's a model recreation of a Viking longship and house, so we'll stop there and get some photos and possibly a little bit of video there as well. But the day is still gorgeous, so who knows what's going to happen later. Hopefully it stays this way.